Coming up on the Sports Desk, as always, we're going to bring you highlights and scores from around the South Bay, see which Torrance teams finished the winter regular season strong, and set themselves up for some CIF postseason fun. Speaking of the postseason, these three seniors set out together to lead their team to an undefeated record and are poised for a deep playoff run. But South Soccer isn't the only team looking to make the winter of 2012 and 13 the season of a Spartan. And speaking of seniors, the best of the best move on to the next level, and one athlete in particular is taking his talent and his locks to one of the top football programs in the country. See who and where right now on the Sports Desk. Hey there, Torrance. I'm Wan Hernandez, and welcome to another week with us right here on the Sports Desk. Today, we're going to jump right into scores and highlights, first with the team that has seen both ups and downs this season. When El Camino basketball started the season with a 4-2 record, we thought, hey, look out for these guys. When they followed that up with a double-digit losing streak, it was, okay, well, maybe not. Now on the heels of consecutive wins with the season winding down and a conference opponent in town that has yet to lose to an SCC school, Jenny Phillips going to fill you in on the rest.
After having lost 10 in a row earlier this season, El Camino has won their last 2. Let's see if they can keep this win streak alive. Warriors hosting Cerritos College, the conference leaders tonight. Both teams come out aggressive as they start the first half trading baskets. Elco's 3 starting guards, Josh Wilson, David Howard, and Marcus Clark, all stepped up with dominant performances, each of them scoring in double digits by halftime. The Warriors pull ahead in the end of the first and go up by 7 into the break. Second half, the Warriors come out with the same level of intensity, never giving up the lead and getting ahead by as much as 20. Wilson tallied a game-high 10 assists, and he and Clark led the team with 19 points each. Elmo Smith finished with 15 points and a game-high 12 boards. And there you have it. The Warriors finally put together 2 complete halves as they upset the conference frontrunners 88-72. 2 guys had double-doubles in this high-scoring affair, and they are confident about the rest of the season.
If we come out every night with the same intensity and energy and confidence in each other, then I feel like we can do a lot of things. We figured out we could put 2 halves together and we could play together as a team. We don't need one guy doing all the scoring, so we had multiple guys come together and we decided we all need to take turns scoring the ball and stuff like that.
I think we just got to keep focused and keep fighting and keep winning.
So not so doom and gloom at Elko. With a couple weeks left in the regular season, the Warriors topple the number 12 ranked team in all of Southern California. Moving on to some high school hoops, the North Saxons girls basketball team entered the year with a new coach and a refreshed emphasis on defense. That focus has led the team to a steady and solid winter season, and with it all winding down and 4 Pioneer League teams tied atop the standings in the final week, Brittany Johnson checked in on the Saxons to see if they could position themselves to hang a league championship banner.
The Saxons start off the game tonight with an easy bucket against El Segundo in their last league home game. El Segundo making it easy for North to work on offense, and here comes the first 3 of the night, and the Saxons have an easy 5-1 lead. Saxons have been playing some hard defense all night, which in turn has gotten them a lot of easy buckets on the offensive end. They're up 35 here in the second. This is a completely different game than last time they met. They're able to swing the ball around and get the easy 3 again. North grabs the rebound and we're going the other way. Saxons are able to get the bucket and draw the foul on the play. You can also count the free throw. El Segundo was no match for North, and the Saxons win it 68-28.
In the first half, we controlled the game with our defensive intensity and getting stops on defense. We held them to 8 points in a half, which is incredible for any team playing at a varsity level.
30 of their points tonight came from behind the arc, which was lights out to say the least. And after tonight's win against El Segundo, the girls share a second place title with South Torrance and Torrance in the Pioneer League.
Lady Saxons pulling it off. Funny thing about that game, most of the girls not even aware of their chance to win the Pioneer League heading into their final game of the season just 2 nights later. North and Torrance face off with 4 teams tied atop the Pioneer League standings. meaning the loser is going to miss out on an automatic playoff berth. North gets the win over the Tartars. They will share the 2012-2013 Pioneer League crown with South and Centennial. Speaking of South High, here's our chance to take a look at the Spartan soccer team's first playoff opponent. Having handled the Del Rey League more than adequately, the Knights didn't have to scramble for a postseason spot. So, with the season wrapping up, the focus turned to just how Bishop Montgomery plans to take on the postseason heading into their first round game against South High. Letitia Cahey has that story.
Bishop Montgomery getting ready to take on LaSalle for their regular season finale. In the first half, LaSalle strikes first with this goal from midfielder Briley Venti. LaSalle up 1-0. Then, with this penalty kick, Mark Garrick has a chance to tie the game at 1-1, and he does, getting past goalkeeper Duncan Breda. Still in the first, midfielder Marco Mariscal, a little too aggressive, gets the yellow card for trying to defend. The Lancers had 3 yellow cards on the night. Later, the Knights on the attack. Matthew Harris from the outside with the great shot, puts it in. Bishop up 2-1. In the second half, Venti on the attack, gets taken down, and he will get a penalty kick. Venti can get his team back in the game if he converts the penalty kick. Fool him once, but can't fool him twice. Bryce Lomas makes the great save, and his teammates congratulate him. In the last minutes, Bishop scoring leader Brandon Anderson with the footwork finishes LaSalle off with his 7th goal of the season. And Bishop Montgomery wins 4-1. Tonight is the second time that Bishop Montgomery beat LaSalle in conference play. The Knights will go into the playoffs with a 6-2 record in the Del Rey League. Goalkeeper Bryce Loomis stepped up huge for the Knights tonight, and he hopes to carry that momentum into the playoffs.
It's tough to communicate because everybody just gets a little disjointed, and you know I've been starting for 3 years, and you have to yell. So I mean it's part of the job, and even though I feel bad, but you still got to do it. I feel good. I feel good going into playoffs. We had a tough loss on Friday, but we bounced back strong, and hopefully we can make a dent in playoffs. I'm really hoping we can get the number 2 seed or the number 1 seed. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it'd be nice to have a first game home playoff because we got unlucky a couple years ago with this bad seeding, and you just try to get in there as not a wild card. And then hopefully we can just make some things happen. Anything can happen in playoffs.
He's just had a big season. You know, the kid came here as a goalkeeper. In his sophomore year, we needed someone to step up for varsity because we had no goalkeeper, and it was tough for him. But for 3 years, he's worked really hard. He's had training, he's done stuff, he's put the effort in, and he's a really good keeper now. His senior year, he's had a big season. In the South tournament, he saved 2 penalties in the South tournament at a penalty shootout. He saved another one tonight, and he's become a big part of the team. I actually rewarded him with a captain's armband just before the senior game, because he wasn't a captain going into the season, but I think his work rate and his effort has just deserved it. And I'm real pleased for him. He's a good kid, and he's big, and he'll be big for us in playoffs too. So.
Speaking of playoffs, you guys are getting ready to go into there. What is your game plan or your mode of attack for it?
I don't know. Playoffs, we just have to we'll get prepared. I think the first round is on the 15th, so we had a little bit of time. We're just going to take a couple of days off, let the kids rejuvenate, recharge their batteries, and then we'll come back in and just get prepared. I mean, it really depends who we end up with in the draw, but I think we're capable. It's just the kids have got to play to their highest, and that's sometimes is a challenge with high school soccer. But if they can get there, I think we can make a little bit of noise. I'm not going to predict too much, but I think we can make a little bit of noise.
All right, everybody, coming up after the break, we've touched on a few teams getting ready to take on the rest of the CIF. When we come back, get ready for an in-depth look at who's moving on to the playoffs all over town.
There are thousands of dogs and cats housed in shelters that need your help. Local shelter professionals and volunteers give their heart and soul to help unwanted animals and deserve your support. Americans give millions every year to national animal organizations, but unless you give to your local shelter, you can't be sure that money will make it to the pets that need it most. Adopt, volunteer, and give to your local animal shelter. To find your local shelter, go to humaneforpets.org.
Hey, how's it going, Torrance? Welcome back to the Sports Desk. In our last segment, you saw a couple teams that earned the right to keep playing after league games wrapped up last week. Now with the standings set and playoff seating in order, it's time to take a quick look at some of the squads around town looking to make some postseason noise. No surprise to see the Bishop Montgomery Knights, the top-seeded team in Division 4 AA, after an undefeated 26-0 record that included 3 wins over Sarah, a close one to top Redondo, one of the Southland's other strong teams, and a win against Price, the number 2-seeded team in their division. With a resume like that, the Knights more than qualified for that number 1 seed, but more impressive, they enter the postseason ranked the number 2 team in the state. So while we're here looking at the CIF playoff brackets to start it all off, going beyond that and earning a state title, very realistic goal for the Knights. Keeping it on the hardwood, the ladies at West earned their second straight Bay League title by beating Peninsula on senior night. Miracosta tops PV on the same night, and that gives the Warriors a share of the title once more. Senior guard Sydney Chase told the Daily Breeze winning this second title was a little tougher than last year because, plain and simple, everyone in the Bay League was gunning for West High this time around. The Warriors finished with a strong regular season record of 20-8 and an 8-2 Bay League record that they'll be carrying with them into the playoffs. On the pitch, North High gets the Pioneer League's number 2 seed with a 7-3 record against Pioneer League teams. They'll kick off the playoffs against West Ranch at West Ranch on Friday, February 15th. West High also finishing second in their league. Solid season from the Warriors as they go 7-3 against the Bay League and 11-6-4 overall. The only team looking down on the Warriors, that very solid PV team that won 20 games this winter. West earns themselves a home game against Capistrano Valley, and like we said, South and Bishop slated to kick off their postseason right here in Torrance. Got a little cross-town first-round playoff action at Bishop Montgomery for y'all. All right, coming up after the break, don't get all eggy with me, Spartans fans. We didn't forget you. In fact, South High made it impossible to be forgotten this winter with so many teams taking home the Pioneer League crown. Season of the Spartans, as we might call it. Our Vice Sal is going to break down just how hot the whole South Campus was this winter.
This could be a bicycle. Or a bat. This could be a robot. Or an airplane. This could be a playground. This could be a book bag.
Or a soccer ball.
This could be a book. This could be beautiful.
This cannot be trash.
This can all be recycled.
Learn more at thiscouldbe.org.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Now, I'm joined here with a familiar face, Vice Salas, who spent quite a bit of time over on the South Campus this winter, and Vi gave me an easy summary of what he saw. The Spartans can straight up ball, right?
Yeah, that's no lie right there. Coming into this season, there wasn't a lot of expectation coming out of South besides girls soccer. Boys soccer and girls basketball were basically starting over, with the majority of each respective team entering this season with new starting lineups. Yet, all 3 won the Pioneer League this season, and all 3 are headed to the CIF playoffs as high seeds.
Now, one team you didn't mention, the boys basketball squad that made that deep playoff run into the CIF finals last year.
Yeah, they definitely came out of the gates fast. Head coach Leo Clem had all pistons firing to begin the year, but ran into a buzzsaw in Lawndale that swept through the Pioneer League undefeated. But the Spartans are still fighting and entered the playoffs as an at-large team.
So, give it to me. We got 4 South teams now in the playoffs. What do we got?
Try and keep it brief, but, well, you never know what you're going to get from the South boys basketball team. They barely made the tournament last year, but got hot and rode that streak all the way to a finals berth. This year, it will be just as tough, and we'll have to wait and see if lightning strikes twice. The girls basketball team repeated as Pioneer League champs, but with essentially a brand new roster and only 2 seniors returning, this season might be sacrificed as an experience builder. In my opinion, the boys soccer team has the potential. They are the hottest team in the South Bay, winning 6 straight games headed into the tournament. And coming into this season, they're an unknown with so much turnover from last season. But the Spartans are starting to believe they can go very far, and it's showing on the pitch. And also, there's no denying girls soccer is the favorite in the CIF Southern Section Division 4 tournament. South is undefeated and are poised to win its first title since 2009. The key to the Spartans' success has been their senior leadership. 15 seniors highlight this year's squad, led by 3 four-year starters in the defensive backfield, Morgan Mullen, Charlie Tavermina, and Anju Takei. I sat down with them as they head into the 4th and final CIF playoffs. Maybe it was winning the North Orange County Classic Tournament, where South beat the number 1 team in Division 2 and the number 2 team in Division 1. Maybe it was beating number 3 ranked Torrance in Division 4 3 times. Sometime, somewhere, the Spartans got in their head that losing was not an option. Now they head into the CIF playoffs with only one goal.
I think this year, because there's so many seniors, I mean, all of our, every year it's been to play for the seniors, and they always want to go out with a win or whatever, but I think this year there's 15 of us. We really all want to win so badly, and I think that's our ultimate goal for it all.
Seniors Morgan Mullen, Charlie Tavermina, and Anju Takei have anchored the defensive back line since they were freshmen. An intimidating task when matched with a program set on winning.
Freshman year was a little nerve-wracking because of all the seniors. I was actually 13 freshman year. I was the youngest one, Brad told me. So it was pretty scary. When I first came to summer practice, I was nervous.
We all gained new experiences, and we were just excited to just keep going because we had 3 more years ahead of us.
3 years have come and gone since that freshman season, leaving all 3 with lasting memories of playing with each other.
Honestly, Charlie's one of the happiest people I know, and she just has really good energy and just has really good vibes and makes people feel really happy all the time.
Charlie, and same question about Anju.
Yeah, Anju, she's the quiet girl, but she's the sweetest thing ever, and she works 110% on the field all the time, and outside of soccer too. She's always there, always caring. She's just a really good person.
Anju, about Morgan.
Morgan's always really happy too, and she's always encouraging people, and I would think that she's the strongest player on the field, so she's always great to have around.
Just working with the girls was just really fun. The whole back line, we're always there for each other, and I just like that a lot.
I just think we have a really strong connection, and looking back, it's not we didn't like each other. I mean, our back line, we all have good friendly connections. They're my friends. We're friendly to each other, we like each other, and it just works really well. And I think I'll look back and be yeah, it was a fun experience with them, my friends.
I'm not going to find a teammate anywhere like them because they're just always so positive and encouraging.
In the trio's 4 years starting in the back line, there's still one thing missing.
I feel it wouldn't be complete unless we win it. I feel we'd have a disappointing season almost, if we don't win it. That's how important it is to us. We want to go all the way and win it. And once it happens, I don't know what's good. I think it'll feel amazing. I don't know.
And you talk about focus. When you speak to any one of the Spartan squad, finishing undefeated and winning a CIF crown has been the goal from the beginning, and now only 5 wins separate them from that result.
Hey, thanks for coming by, Vi. Appreciate
no
that. Now, coming up, everybody, so you played your heart out all 4 years in high school. It's finally time to make that decision. Where to play when the next level comes knocking on your door. Check out an athlete who's headed to one of the top programs in all of college football.
They fought for social change. They fought against tyrants. They fought for human rights. Yet behind these achievements are individuals who waged a more personal war. They fought the struggle against mental illness, and they won.
Hey there, and welcome back to the Sports Desk for one last special feature for the week. Last week, we shared the news that West High senior Matt Bozen was headed to play football for the Boise State Broncos. Yes, the same football program that will forever be remembered for the Statue of Liberty play. The modern-day David that didn't just slay Goliath, but became a juggernaut themselves. The running back who proposed to his cheerleader girlfriend after the big win on national television, and, of course, that blue turf. Giselle Roberts caught up with Bozen and those long blonde locks to talk about his future at the next level.
What does it look like to fulfill a dream years in the making? Smiles all around, as we can see from West Torrance Warriors star Matt Bozen and his family. Last Wednesday, Bozen signed his letter of intent to play for the Boise State Broncos, and it was a watershed moment in his life.
I'm really excited that I got to achieve this goal, going to the next level in college, playing college football, and my next goal after this would be I'd like to play freshman year when I get there, so I'm looking to come in and compete right away and get that starting spot, and from there on I'm just going to keep working and hopefully get to that NFL spot,
Bozen stands out in the South Bay as the only Bay League recruit to go on to upper echelon Division I football next year. Bozen's been playing football since he was young, and it has taken countless practices, sacrifices, and discipline to make it to this point, but Bozen couldn't imagine it any other way.
Without sports, I think I'd be kind of lost, actually. I mean, I'm always doing sports, and I'm never really not doing it. So I don't know, I couldn't really imagine it. It's kind of weird, so.
At 6'4" and 210 pounds, Matt Bozen's physical dominance on both sides of the ball is what makes him special. As a tight end, Bozen makes yards after the catch look like child's play. And as a defensive end, he has quarterbacks shaking in their boots. Warriors coach Greg Holt knows that that's what makes him valuable to his team and has throughout his high school career.
I mean, he works extremely hard, very competitive. Very competitive. That's probably the biggest thing about Matt. But Matt, I mean, I guarantee you there's something going on inside there that motivates him, and I don't know exactly what it is, but he's got some stuff that really makes him work hard. And that's what the great ones do. Matt's a heck of a player for us.
Clearly has a motor that keeps on going. This year, Bozen had 17 sacks as a defensive end, and at tight end, he has 51 catches for 795 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Right when I first came in, like, no one really knew how to tackle, and I knew how to tackle right away. I had great form from wrestling, and that really carried through to the football field. I mean, wrestling's a little bit more of an individual sport, so I mean, it's all on you. So if I don't perform well, I mean, I'm not gonna do well. But like, it's not as much as a team sport as if in football, if I don't perform that well, like, we can still do all right with the team. But wrestling is just that cool one-on-one sport that you have.
Having wrapped up his high school career, Bozen has shifted his focus to the questions that lay ahead of him and the challenges that Boise is going to present, both on and off the field.
Boise's they're really strong on like being more than just playing football there. They really want you to get the degree and go to school, so I'm going to improve on my school up there. I really want to take that serious and get my degree and move on. What are you interested in studying? Right now I'm looking into either business or some like sports medicine or something like that.
Bozen found himself drawn to the program at Boise State early on in the recruiting process, and his excitement about playing for the Broncos never diminished in the intervening months.
Once I got that Boise offer, I went up there and I really fell in love up there, and just like all the outdoor activities you could do up there, I really like that. It fits me, and just basically that's what made me commit so early to them, because it just felt perfect. Yeah. And after that, basically I was done. I was 100% committed.
Even though Bozen is eager to move on to the next phase in his life, his friends, family, and time in Torrance will remain with him when he goes to Boise.
Thank you for that, Giselle. Cannot wait to see Matt terrorizing quarterbacks in a Broncos uniform. Some other notable Torrance seniors that signed letters of intent this past week. We've seen Lamont Murray Jr. tear it up this winter. He'll be with the Waves next year up in Malibu. Rhea Green has long since committed to Alabama. We're just one step closer to seeing her take on the SEC. And Danielle Shanahan staying local. Also, while Torrance striker and team leader Caitlin Johnson headed to the Pac-12, she'll be a Cougar with former Elko linebacker Ivan McLennan. And on the South Campus, well, those girls on the soccer squad you saw, they had quite a day to celebrate. 8 seniors moving on with scholarships to play college ball. A couple of them get to remain teammates up in San Francisco. All these ladies going to make Torrance and the rest of the South Bay very proud over the next 4 years. So congratulations to every single one of these athletes. All right, everybody, that's a lot of studs we got in town, right? Well, we want to share their stories, see what they're doing to prepare for that next chapter of their lives in the classroom, the training room, and of course, on the field. Can you think of any other student athletes looking to make a big name for themselves outside of Torrance? Let us know who you got in mind. The Sports Desk at torranceca.gov. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us this week. We'll see you next week right in the middle of some CIF playoff action.